in just the business side of it too, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a marketing skill set. So like, you know, in dating, approaching is a skill set, or I should say opening is a skill set. You can apply it to all kinds of shit, right? You get good at opening a girl at the bar, you get good at opening the cashier at the restaurant. And that's how you get free Chipotle and shit like that. I can't tell you how many free bowls, maybe not free, but like, you know, extra add-ons or, uh, you know, just favors when you're like social, um, like a quick serve restaurant. So opening applies here and it applies there and it can apply to a job. It can apply to an interview. Opening can be good for a leasing office if you're walking in and you're going to apply for a new apartment complex, like, you know, shit like that. Same thing when it goes to running ads, right? So it's like we've replaced the opening with running an ad that creates an inbound DM, but being able to understand how to create the audience, go into Sora, create the creative, launch the campaign, track the numbers is a skill set. That's why there's guys that I hop on coaching calls and like, oh, dude, by the way, I use this to sell my couch. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, put that on Facebook Marketplace, but like that's badass. You know, you could use this to sell products and services. Like you know, it's like a really interesting crossover between dating and just like straight up pure digital marketing that can be used for you know, anything, man. So whenever you guys are experimenting with new stuff, because I get kind of in the tunnel vision, like I'm in the trenches and I need efficiency. So I need to find something that's working and kind of ride it for consistency and predictability with new people that come in, so it doesn't really leave a ton of time or a ton of room for me to let me try out this new prompt, and you know, let me make this one have the girl holding the camera, and let me, you know, this new event we haven't tried. Like I don't always have the time to like make people guinea pigs. Like I can't do that. So it's just like kind of up to you guys to guinea pig new stuff. And so whenever we crack some of these things, there's cool innovation there. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any, like, we don't have like a plaque for that, but I don't know. You definitely, you deserve one for that, Austin. So appreciate it, man.
Welcome back.
Did you host that event, by the way, or what happened there?
The one with Eli.
Did you run the ad for that, or like, have you run your campaign?
I did. So okay. So yeah, like I got pretty deep into trying to figure out how to uh, run ads. Um, with what was it, like Meta Ad Manager or whatever it was. I was on it for like hours and hours and hours. I just couldn't. It was just too clunky of a thing. So I'm gonna have to try that at a different time. But I mean last weekend, I ended up just going to Salt Lake anyway because Eli was having his event. So it was really good to be up close and sort of see that process take hold.
Yeah, yeah, his event looked pretty steep.
It was legit. Like I don't know if did anybody give you the breakdown of that one about how it turned out?
No, and he doesn't hop on the group calls, man. So we would appreciate a recap if you've got one for us.
Yeah, it was just first of all, like I mean, he got over 250 people on the thing. He showed he broke Instagram's
Group chat limit, yeah.
group chat limit. Um, but what ended up happening with the thing is that the venue, I don't know if it was just like such high end of a venue that like they were trying to be very selective of how many people they let in, but I mean, he told them, he's just like, yeah, I got 200 people coming, and they told him like, yeah, we'll let 20 people in at a time. Just to what we brought three extra bartenders in just for you guys. But I got there like right, like 10 minutes after 8 o'clock when it was supposed to start, and there was already like a line out the door. They weren't letting pretty much anybody in. Like by the time like Alex got there, it was an hour and 45-minute wait. So people just turned around. They went to a different bar. Everybody broke off. So like the turnout was kind of only maybe about like 30, honestly, of the people that were like actually,
In the group chat.
yeah, the people that actually showed up to the first place was about like 30 people. out of the 250. They're all like very high quality people though. Like a lot, like pretty much it was like maybe I don't know, 5-to-1, 6-to-1 girl to guy ratio.
Oh shit.
The girls were all. If you look at Eli's got all the photos. He hired a couple of videographers and photographers. Um, some of them were better than others. So like I kind of showed him like some examples of like what you're looking for like a video uh, out of the venue. So then that should be better going in the future. Um, but yeah, and then after that, like everybody else went to the club afterward. He had a club set up, where he said like if you show up before 10:30 and you say like this particular word, you get in free. Like there's no cover. Like he had a deal worked out like that. So that was a good idea. I'm not a club guy, so I didn't follow to that. But yeah, overall is good. Like for something that kind of like fell apart in terms of people, all the people stuck together. Like the group chat's still going. Like people are still inviting everybody in the group chat to other stuff right now.
Right.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say is like first of all, I'm not really sure how he got a lot of the people into the group chat. Because that's where it starts off is just invites, yeses, group chat. I don't know where he sourced all those people. I know a good amount was from ads. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's all of it.
So what he said for that is that he says he was running ads for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and he was experimenting with like some micro ads, and so he was just throwing like $5 here, $5 there, and he's just kind of doing specific targeting of like men, women, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he says for the he was cold DMing. He says like for the cold DMs, he was instead of sending your message, lately he's been just sending out girls just like hey, are you from Salt Lake?
Okay.
Like that's it. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So he was opening with that, and then I think he knew a couple people from previous ones, and like he had there seemed to be like 2 or 3 connections of guys who are also party influencers like in the area.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seemed to be how he built that list together.
Yeah. That's pretty good. And this was his first party that I knew of. Well, the first successful one anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that group chat is it's excessive, like to over 250 people. That's a lot. I think maybe even just like prove a point or like win the competition, whatever it was. It can't hurt though, like you said. So he filled up the chat, and then what's crazy to me is it sounds like I mean he talked to the venue, but I think it might have been a little bit too short. No, like whenever you have a chat, first of all, if you have a chat of 250 people, like at that point you have the leverage to say whatever you want, right? Like that gives you the social proof because you can take screenshots of the group. It shows how many people are in there. And then especially if your group chat has a bunch of girls, you kind of go to a section where there's like a lot of girls in one screenshot and you take a couple of them and you can just reach out to people. You can just reach out to venues. You can reach out to people that own boats. You can reach out to people that have whatever and just say, hey man, I know we don't know each other, but I host parties and events here around town, screenshots, bam, 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 thinking about possibly either hosting at your venue, thinking about possibly doing a yacht party one day, thinking about like you can just like once you create that group chat, like you can now basically open people and interact with people as if you're just this like, uh kind of like a promoter, but beyond that, like a party starter or just a like a broker of people, basically. So I think he probably reached out to the venue in a little bit too short of notice to start establishing real special treatment, where like he could have had either like a private reservation or a bar split or some extra value, because it sounds like that part was kind of a breakdown. Like you said, there's like 10 people in at a time and only 30 got in, right?
Yeah, he originally told the bar that there was going to be 25 to 30 people coming, and then and then it took off, right? Like because his previous most successful event, he had about 75 people in a group chat.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was expecting 250, and so like yeah, it literally was the day before that he informed them like, hey, like something just happened. Like we got 250 people here. Like, what can what can you guys do for us?
Yeah. So the thing is that might seem like it was bad, or that might seem like it's a problem or a breakdown or an issue, and in some regards it is. Um, but it's almost kind of like create problems that you have to then later solve, because now his relationship with that venue is, oops, I accidentally had 250 people roll up to your venue. So now in the future, it's not just smoke and mirrors. It's not just some, random, uh, person messaging them. Even if there's screenshots, like that stuff's all great. But he actually like came through and slammed the doors with, people where they had to turn people away. And, some people may have just gone and done their own thing, which worst case scenario, they just went down the street, went to the bar. Like it's not even going to actually piss people off. Like there's no room for anybody to get their feelings hurt or get upset anyways, because we're throwing free parties, right? Like they didn't pay for this, nobody bought tickets, nobody did anything besides click a button and then get added into a group chat, and they probably just have a little bit of FOMO, boo-hoo. So that's the worst part of that. But now I'm sure moving forward, when he says to the venue, I've got another party coming, they're going to take him seriously. Like it's going to be all hands on deck. Maybe it's going to be uh, something different for the next one. So the problem that we ran into tees him up for a good turnout, or just a better logistical situation the next one. And people will either understand, or you just flip the ads back on and just do it all over again and get new people. Because in a place like Salt Lake, it's pretty highly populated, and like there's just an abundance of people. So yeah, that part's fine. I'm not really. You're better off like overshooting it and having too many people. Some people get turned away and pissed off, and then the venue's like, what the fuck happened here? Like, there's way too much going on. And then yeah, just prepping them for the next time. Uh, and then about the chat. So, well, okay, so you said it was like a 6-to-1 ratio at the party, so that's pretty crazy. Eli has a girlfriend, doesn't he? Or was he like single at this? Does he have a girlfriend now still? I don't know.
He does have a girlfriend. Yes, they're long distance.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, point in case there, like, do this while you have a girlfriend, right? Doesn't mean that you're cheating, doesn't mean that you're unloyal, doesn't mean that you're unfaithful. It means that you're a fucking uh a move maker, and it's a power play. So it goes far beyond dating. Like you said, there's influential guys in the nightlife industry or whatever the case might be. That's the beauty of this system too, is it opens up the funnel to dudes, and it's like most dating systems, most dating coaches, most advice about improving your interactions with women have nothing to do with guys, maybe very, very little on um, some social circle stuff. But if we're thinking of like the Sartain thing, like it's not even always about like rich guys or famous guys, or celebrity level status. Like there's just gonna be cool dudes that are, kind of like got something going on. Maybe they're just a club promoter. Those guys are sometimes, their personalities can be a little iffy or whatever. But I mean, it's just good to know. I posted something in the Discord today where it's like, what's the point of doing all of this? What's the point of like building all of this up, even if you have like a girlfriend, or even like creating social circles with people that you don't necessarily even like, like creating a big, that's one concept that I actually get talked to about all the time, is like guys will be like, I don't want a big social circle. Like I want to just, it's been small forever. I always know one or two friends, one or two people, and that's all I need. Why do I need to know 100 people? Why do I need to be friends with bouncers and promoters and this and that? And it's like, well, I mean, bro, first of all, get there first, like get to this level first, where you're hanging out with maybe some people that are slightly, ratchet, or maybe some of them are kind of superficial. Maybe some of them are people that you don't like at all. You're just hanging out with them for politics. But like, how can you really knock it if you haven't tried it? Like, how can you talk shit on something you haven't seen? Like, how can you really say whether it's for you or not for you unless you've actually been there? So it's like climb to the top of the mountain so that you can look down on everything. And then if you decide to go back down the mountain, you know what it looked like when you were up there. And you just interact with everything else differently when you're at the bottom because of the memory that you have. So, I mean, even if you guys don't have the ambition to do a party like Eli did with, max group chat, fuck it up with the venue, like make most of the people get turned away, like, all of like the smoke that comes with that and everything. I think you just do it for personal growth to a certain degree, like just to be able to be like, damn, like I did this whole thing and fucked the whole thing up. But I mean, in some regards, he's just gonna be stronger for it, And then yeah, like the aftermath, like he'll be able to get in with the venue next time better. And then all those people in the group chat, I see that it's still going, which can be a kind of a kind of a bad thing and a good thing when it's that size because it keeps blowing up. I think I had to leave that chat just because it's like a week after the party and I'm like, damn, this thing is like still going. I don't live in that city, so I gotta like get out of that group. I'm sure some other people probably will leave the group too. So that's not my preference, but yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I think that's gonna be it's a good turnout. And so just so I can walk you guys through this, for Austin, maybe some of the guys that it's been a little while since we launched the last ad. We used to do this by this was the old method. Okay, so the old method was to first of all select a venue. The one that Eli did was a rooftop. I suggest rooftops. Why? Because rooftops are like open air. You can do it at sunset. It's got a cool background. For whatever reason, being elevated just feels more high end. And then typically, if it's a rooftop, it's not going to be a dive bar. It's going to be kind of a nicer place, kind of like schwanky cocktails, so on and so forth. So find a venue. What we used to do was go and search the venue on Instagram. And then we'd go to the venue and we'd go through their reels and we'd basically we'd screen record clips from their actual profiles. And then we'd edit these clips into basically like our own compilation. So this way it's not like, exact copy paste, but it's kind of copy paste. But we were basically like stealing content essentially. And the problem with this was number one, we were stealing content. Number two, it was taking a long time to create these ads. And then it was also sometimes not very good because some of these venues don't have content on their Instagram, which by the way is a huge opportunity. That's another way that you can partner with these venues. Aside from saying, hey, I host parties and events, we're thinking about doing the next one at your spot. You can say, hey, I host parties and events, we're thinking about doing the next one at your spot, and we'd love to bring through a camera or a video recorder and create content completely done for you guys for free so that you have something to post on your Instagram, because couldn't help but notice that your spot's better than your competitor, but your competitor's Instagram, if you look at it, has way more content. So you can start creating content for these venues, offering that as a done for you service, free to them. That's what Chris did in the small town in Sarasota. And he threw a content party at the venue for free. The venue opened up their doors on a night that they weren't open. Chris was able to put together a guest list that was actually exclusive because you can't access this venue on this night. So the exclusivity piece was there. He marketed it as a content party for the venue. So it's like there's like a reason to do it. It's to help the venue, right? It's not, hey, look at me, I'm hosting this party. It's like, yeah, I'm hosting this party, but we're doing it to put together content to help this business, a place that we all know, like, and trust. Got a bunch of girls, got a bunch of videos, gave them the content, posted it on their profile. I don't think he collaborated himself on the reel, which would have been extra clutch, where you start creating content and then collaborating and setting up as collaborators. That's like next level topics. But That's something to think about. Anyways, we used to create the ads by stealing the content, and then we'd boost it, and then we'd get the leads. So now, I'll share this page here. So now, as you guys know, all we need is this one single tool, which is Sora. So this is only getting better and better each time they do an update. You guys can just like, every time I pop onto Sora, I go through and I look at these prompts because I want to understand how they're making images look like this. Like the detail that's in these AI pictures is like to the point where, I mean, pretty soon we're going to be able to create like full on videos if we wanted to.
I just sent you the final prompt if you want to.
Yeah, we can prompt it right now. So all we got to do is prompt Sora to make it say whatever we want. I don't think this has any letters on it, Austin, but that's all right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We just created this one earlier today, rooftop party for singles. Prompted Sora, spit this out. Like, dude, people respond to this shit. Women respond to this stuff. Like, you guys don't realize, man, women do have options. That's not the fucking problem that women have. Women don't know how to find the right option. They are trying to figure out, how do I get a different guy? I've got all these guys in my DMs. I've got all these guys on my Hinge. I get approached at night, but the guys approaching me aren't the guys that I want, right? That's what's going through a woman's head. So from a female's perspective, they love opportunities to basically open up their dating pool to new guys, guys that they, you know, are a cut from a different cloth, right? Like they kind of want that new fresh take. So dating opportunities, let's see this. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That looks like, who does that look like? Is that Cameron Diaz? Am I crazy? I don't know. Is that an actress? I feel like I know this chick. I think I might have like smashed at one point. Anyways. Yeah, so the ads, like all we got to do is prompt Sora. Now we've got these fucking like beautiful ads that you would have had to create yourself, or you would have had to hire a graphic designer. I don't know. It spits it out in 30 seconds. You can change it to whatever you want. Rooftop party for singles, rooftop party for entrepreneurs, rooftop party for real estate, rooftop party for I don't know, what's your industry? What's your interest? Anything, right? Rooftop party. That's the best template that I can come up with. That's what I suggest for everybody. Maybe you don't have a rooftop in your city. Okay. Cocktail party for singles. Do it at a bar. You know, it can be that simple. So we start running these ads, and these are like, they're not copyright. There's no issue. They're easy to make. It's on demand, and you can run multiple at a time, right? So maybe we don't want to do rooftop party. Maybe we want to test it out. So we switch it up and we say house party. So maybe all you want to do is test out a couple of different angles. Rooftop party, house party, like what should I do? I don't know. Run 5 different ads, set them up at $5 a day, couple bucks a day, and see which one performs best. So that's what Eli was doing, is he was split testing. So all we got to do is come in here. You hit upload media. I'm not going to upload any media, but that's all you do. I'm just going to use the boost content piece just so I can get to the next page. But what we'd be doing right here is uploading custom media generated from Sora right here, which these take, this is already at 25%, so it takes 2 seconds. But yeah, you come here, you make sure you set it up for messaging conversations. I think that if there's anybody else out there that's trying to coach guys, or they've tried it themselves running ads, most guys make the mistake of doing like either profile visits, or that's it, right? Like there's not a lot of options. Like getting people to visit your profile me boosting this and getting people to visit my profile, it's like not going to do anything. It's going to like maybe give me some followers, I guess, a couple of them, I don't know. But you hit messages because you're generating inbound messaging conversations that are in the primary tab, not the requested. Doesn't matter if they follow you, doesn't matter what their settings are on Instagram. It's somebody that you can always message back and forth and be in touch with. So then set up your audiences. You know, for me, it's like women within a couple of zip codes. 1, 2, 3 zip codes. 28203, that's my zip code. This is 28204. Like these are just the ones right next to each other. You can do a radius. You can select for interests. Maybe you want some yoga women. Maybe you want women interested in entrepreneurship. You just punch these in, and then that's it. Like it's so easy. We don't use Ads Manager anymore. That was the other thing I was going to say, is we used to log into the back end of actual Ads Manager. Okay, so the way that it works with Meta is you've got Meta Business Suite, which you can manage a bunch of different Instagram or a bunch of different ad accounts if you have like different businesses, different whatever, right? And then in your ad account, you have different pages, right? Maybe you manage different pages. And then on the page that's all you need is the page. So that's why boosting it through dashboard right here, it goes around Ads Manager. One of the first things that you do when you go to set up your first ad is it says, how do you want to run this ad? Do you want to run it with a Facebook ad account or do you want to run it without? Just click run it without. You don't even need to have an ad account. You can just run ads through Instagram. So we're no longer dealing with Meta Ads Manager. That was a pain in the ass. We're no longer creating videos based off of stolen and ripped videos. And so it's like we got the world at our fingertips here, guys. This could literally be anything. Like we can make this say whatever we want. It doesn't even have to be for a party. I think that's the most persuasive angle because people get advertised to. You guys get ads all the time. And what are your ads for? It's for products and services to either book a call, buy, click on a website, pay for this, buy that. Like, when do you ever see an ad come across your feed that's like house party for singles, Orange County, if you live in Orange County? Think of whatever city you're in. House party for singles, maybe you cut out the for singles part or whatever. And then it's like Charlotte. If I saw a house party in Charlotte, I'm definitely clicking on the ad, but I'm definitely at the very least clicking on the profile running the ad and probably following that person just to keep tabs on them and figure out who the fuck is this person? Why the fuck are they running this ad? Like running an ad is almost kind of like high status. Even though it doesn't cost a lot of money, just the simple fact somebody's paying to be in front of me is almost kind of like they're buying me, right? And that's the dynamic that we're creating here. It's like you're looking at my ad and I've just officially bought your attention. So there's something there that's subconsciously kind of almost like higher value frame. And then if a woman clicks on it and it goes into a message with me, now it's kind of almost like she's completely falling into that frame. Like I bought her attention, and it's not like I'll buy you a drink type of way. It's like a take it or leave it type of bought your attention. And now that she's messaging me, I'm the one that's now it's the buyer and the seller dynamic, right? Like the employee and the boss, the interviewer and the interviewee. Are these still boosted posts that we're going? No, it doesn't go on your stories. It doesn't go on your stories or get put anywhere publicly on your profile. This runs in the back end of Instagram. So it's stealth mode.
Do you know, because I've seen ads both like in the when you're clicking through stories, but also when you're scrolling down. Like I've seen Michael Sartain ads that are like in the feed as well. Do you know how that works? Like, or does it matter? Like, if you have them both, I don't know.
Well, let me see. If you see the ad, so I would have to do this from an account. Let's just go. Let's just go see it. Yeah, it's different on desktop. So if you go on mobile, you can actually go to anybody's Instagram account and you can click on this button on the top right, and if they're running ads, it shows you the ads that they're running. So there is a way to see your competitors' ads, and there's a way to see if somebody's running ads. If you're seeing an ad and then you go to the profile and it's here, it's just because they did boost it. If that's what you're asking, he probably just boosted it, or his marketing team boosted it. We're not boosting.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like, I'm on his account on my mobile. Copy shows QR code. Yeah, I don't see where it says the ads that he's running.
On your mobile device?
Yeah.
There's something somewhere.
No.
I don't know if it's important, but yeah, maybe not. I can find it later. There's a way to dig it up. There's a way to see it.
Yeah, because I just went down the feed. I tried to find like any account that was, so now I'm on Mint Mobile. Went to their profile. I still don't, like, when I press the little, like, the little kebab up in the top right hand corner. Oh, don't see anything.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Oh, I can see it. Yeah, so tap on when you're on the top. I went
Yeah.
to my page and I can do it. So tap on the username, and then it says about this account, and then it says view active ads. You can see New City Mastery's active ad library. And here's all my ads. These are the
Okay.
ads I'm running.
So yeah, I see it on yours. I didn't see it on even when I went directly to an account that was running an ad, I didn't see it. You see ads in the Meta ad library. It takes you to Facebook, and you can.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's turned off. Maybe you can turn it off. I don't know. That's just not super important, I don't think. So we're not boosting though, we're launching. So we come back here to dashboard, launch it, and choose your audience. We can dive deep into the audience stuff if you guys want to. It's pretty straightforward though, man. Like, you can't mess it up. Just remember to turn off Advantage Plus, name the audience, put your location, put your interests. You can get the exact age ranges that you're looking for. If one day you wake up and you're just like, I really want to bang an 18-year-old, like, just switch it to that. I don't condone that. That's just, just to give you an example. And then switch as all females, and then run that shit or hit save. So precision targeting, that's a pillar. Okay, precision targeting. Which page am I sharing right now? Whoops. Okay. Precision targeting, pillar 1. Persuasive advertising, pillar 2. And then inbound DMs, pillar 3. Let's talk about budget for a second. When we're testing an ad, you set it for 25 bucks and you set the duration for 2 days. All right. If that seems like a lot, then you got to get your money up. 50 bucks is cheap. to reach 3,000 to 8,000 people. In what world can you spend $50 and reach that? Hold on, let me ask that question differently. In what world can you approach 3,000 people in 48 hours? In what world can you like communicate, unless you have an audience or something, you know, like where can you get in touch with between 3 and 8,000 new people? The exact ages, the exact location, you can't. There's no way else to do this. That's powerful, you know, like when we talk about scalability and then we talk about automation, right? Like if you want to automate your life, if you want to scale your life, scale your lifestyle, scale your brand, scale your dating, that's, I mean, there's no other way besides ads, right? So 8,000 people, 2 days, let's get into the nitty gritty. So let's go to some wins that we've shared recently inside of the group. This isn't me talking anymore, it's you guys. So share entire screens, pop in the Discord, go over here. What do we get for $50 when done correctly? Well, how about this recent one? Kind of blurry, but $49 was 19 messages. So 19 messages. So 49 divided by 19, $2.50. You know, if you could start a conversation with a girl local to you for $2.50, it's not a bad deal. It's not terrible, depending on the quality. And you look at the quality, attractive women respond to this stuff. It doesn't matter what your profile looks like. It's good to have a nice profile because eventually they're going to fucking care. But in the beginning, they don't. So that's why any guy can get in here and just fucking run this and just start winning. Now, if your game sucks on the back end, you're fucked. If your profile sucks on the back end, you're fucked. If your masculine frame sucks, you're fucked. If your first dates, you know, so that stuff matters. But at the top of the funnel, not so much. Let's look at another example. This one was fucking crazy. 42 messages for $48. So that's $1.15. Like with inflation, that's like free. You know, start a conversation with a girl local to me for $1. Shit. Let's look at the quality. We got blondes, brunettes, and we got some fake tits in here, but that's okay. Like we accept that. We accept people as they come, especially in the beginning. I've always said lower your standards in the beginning to win in the long run. You know, short-term pain, long-term gain, delayed gratification. All right, so now we've got 42 messages. We spent $50. We got 42 messages. It happened in 48 hours, by the way. So this was working while we were sleeping. It worked while we were at the gym, worked while we were building our business. You know, some of you guys, it was working while you were jerking off or whatever. So now we got 42 messages. What's the best thing to do with these messages? There's two paths. Okay, path number one is kind of like, it's like the shortcut. It's like the lazy man's path, where you get back to these people and you just say, hey, what's up? You know, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, we've got a party coming, right? Like we're in the early phases of creating something great, basically. In the early phases of putting together a guest list, in the early phases of putting together a concept for a new social circle, however you want to say it. Want me to get back to you when the details are finalized? Like, want me to just get back to you when the time comes for us to pull the trigger on this? They say yes. There's no reason for them not to. They've already requested the information. Most of them say yes. You can switch the subject. You just be like, awesome. How long have you been in LA, by the way? And now you just start having a regular DM conversation that can lead with the right script to a one-to-one date. This has worked. I don't recommend this, but you can make it happen. And here's what other guys, you know, have asked me is like, isn't that bait and switch marketing? Technically, yes, but as Niccolo Machiavelli said, the end always justifies the means, right? If you go on a date with this girl, maybe you sleep together, maybe you enter into a relationship, and you guys live happily ever after, what does it matter? You know, how the whole thing came about, right? So there's an argument there. Like you can make the argument that the end justifies the means. It depends on how you feel internally, it depends on morality. Maybe you just want to experiment with it, see what happens. You can do that. Okay, so the DM conversation starts. Now it can just be a text game scenario. But, you know, what I recommend is to keep it 100. Like keep it 1,000 and hit them with, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. We are hosting a rooftop party at Van Ryder in Salt Lake City on Saturday, the 19th at 7:30 p.m. So just logistics. Hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Intro, greeting, then logistics. Hey, we're throwing a party at blah, 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 blah. Day, place, time. And then I like to put in a little bit of a what's in it for me factor. Going to be an awesome mix of people from a background of different industries, important folks in real estate, important folks in that, you know, just talk it up a little bit, sell it, put some fucking seasoning on it. Photos, drinks, should be a really good time. ... And then the close, which is want me to add you and a friend or two on the guest list. That's where the magic happens. Because you get 40 women that replied to your ad, 30 of them are hot, 15 of them say yes. So now you're like, oh, I only got 15 people. We know half the people in the group chat flake. So it's like, do I have to run another ad? Not necessarily. We turn 2 into 3 because people don't show up to parties by themselves. So whenever they're bringing a friend or two, the person multiplies. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who they're going to bring. You never even know who you're dealing with in the first place. Like the people replying to these ads, you know, they've been people that own businesses, people that don't own anything. Like it's just a big variety. So you're kind of like getting to enjoy that box of chocolates with the leads, but then also with who they bring. And that's where social game differentiates itself. Is like number one, we're using multiplication. And then the second piece is obviously the ad can be run to guys or to both at the same time, because guys aren't completely useless. Guys can be pretty powerful. Well, from a power perspective, they're like more powerful almost every time, just on average. It's not a misogynistic thing, it's just reality. And so now, yeah, I mean, like Austin was saying, now the name of the game is just fill up that group chat, man. Fill it up. Like, just get as many people in there as you can. Be discerning, but not picky. And if you're worried about it, turn on admin approval. That way people can't just add people willy-nilly. It has to go through you first. They might still bring that person, but at least they are not in the group chat. So you can manage your guest list, but really the name of the game, just get as many people in there as you can. Why? 2 things. Number one, social proof. The more people that are getting into this chat, the more there's momentum, social momentum, which elicits FOMO. And then number 2 is degrees of separation. So like the more people you know, the more people that know you, the more people you're exposed to, the more people you're in contact with, like the broader your network is, the more that Newton's law just begins to work in your favor. Like what can happen will happen. Like you just have more opportunity in front of you. More people is just less separation. And that's a big problem that we're solving here. Is a lot of guys are just separated. Like they're just isolated. You know, with the right exposure, with more exposure, you just don't know what can come your way. Like you can't really predict it. I couldn't have been able to predict meeting the guy that I met with the yacht. You know, I knew like it was kind of somewhere in my subconscious, but like opportunity presents itself to those who present themselves. So fill that chat up with as many people as you possibly can. Nothing else to say about that. Expect 50% of people to show up. Expect that half of them won't show up. So cook that into your numbers, you know. You want 10 people at a party, get 20 in a group chat. You want 50, get 100. And then, yeah, man, I mean, the party itself is less about game and more about just like rolling with punches, man. You show up there early, you know, get a fucking dirty martini, talk to the bouncer for a little bit, shoot the shit with him, ask him about his kids, man. Ask him if he's single or not. That's one thing that I do is I'm like, dude, if I'm meeting a bouncer, I'll be like, you single or you got a girlfriend? I'll be like, I'm single. I'm like, all right, dude, what kind of girl you like? We're gonna get some tonight. I'm gonna bring you one. And he's like, oh no, thanks, whatever. Like just building that rapport. Maybe I'll go in there and I'll grab a Red Bull and maybe I'll bring him a Red Bull a little bit later on. Just like, hey man, like if you get tired, here's this. He might not even fucking drink it. He hates Red Bull. Okay. I'm the dude that came in and said, like, let's get some chicks. And I'm the guy that said, hey, here's a Red Bull. I'm not showing my ID ever again. Like, unless I completely change my image and he doesn't recognize me. But that's how you be memorable, is you just bring people value. You can bring them emotional value. You can bring them material value. You can think of a bunch of different ways, even if it's just you being nice. That little bit goes a long way with the right people, especially at the party. Like, you just don't, like, people are going to start rolling in. You're going to be talking to people. There might be issues at the door. People are going to be blowing up your phone. And that's what you want. Like, you want to just be busy. You're no longer just out. Like, now you're kind of almost like in this like shitstorm. Like you've just almost kind of like putting yourself in a scenario where you can't even fucking make everybody happy and like people are getting pissed. Like you almost kind of want that a little bit where it's like, man, what the fuck? Like, because even like negative controversy is better than nothing. So I'm sure Eli, I'm sure he, you know, got some heat from people, but even kind of the hate feels good because the opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. You know, it's better to have people that are kind of hating on you than people that just don't know you exist and don't care about you at all. Like you'd rather have a little bit of negativity coming your way than just nothing, you know, at least then you're alive. Like, fuck, I have a heartbeat.
And honestly, I bet you that situation probably played into like here's this high venue here's okay, an hour and a half wait, you know, like it just actually makes it even more exclusive, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like shit can just go wrong. Like expect your party to just like go crazy. Expect it to be nothing that you expected. It's not this like Great Gatsby thing where you're like, you know, you come out and you got the drink and everybody's like, oh, there he is. And, you know, like sometimes it's kind of like that, but mostly it's just like fucking issues and just problems. Like I throw parties and people are like, dude, we're out of fucking alcohol. I'm like, damn, you know, like, what are we doing about it? You know, like make people, like people will start chipping in and stuff too. People will like, you know, DoorDash beer and stuff. And yeah, I mean, kind of in some regards, all eyes are on you. So if you can't handle that heat, then, you know, you don't belong in the kitchen. But you can't make good food without being in the kitchen. So you got to decide, like, is this for you or is it not for you? Like, can you hang? Can you handle this or not? And if you can't, you got to ask yourself, man, like, why not? Because, you know, that exact fear or that exact resistance is the same thing that's holding you back everywhere else in your life. You know, whatever the adverse reaction to the way all this sounds is, it's just wiring that keeps you comfortable, just keeps you safe, keeps you living through status quo. Some people are okay with that. Me personally, it's just wasn't, it's just not possible. And then, yeah, to wrap it up is the follow up. So say that 30 people got in and 250 people were on the guest list. Well, Eli can very easily, if he wanted to, go through every single girl that's in the group chat, cherry pick the hottest ones and just say the same thing to all of them. Hey, what's up? Were you at the party on Saturday? Wasn't sure if I saw you there. Ha ha. And then she's gonna be like, nah, I couldn't fucking get in. Like, we got there a little bit late and we got turned away at the door. Be like, oh damn. Yeah, that's tough. We ran into capacity issues. It was pretty slammed. But we'll do a better job next time for sure. And then she says whatever she says, and then you do the same thing I talked about earlier. Anyways, how long have you been in Salt Lake for? You get out and about a lot around here, you more of kind of like a hidden gem. Just start chatting. Now you're in conversation. Now it's just DMs. Now you're just texting. And you can set up dates. You do the same thing with guys. Like, hey brother, thanks for coming to the party, man. Hope you had a good time. He says what he says. You say, cool, man. By the way, have you ever been to XYZ Cigar Bar? He says, no. You say, yeah, man, best spot to just like, chop it up and talk business. We should, we should like have a smoke sometime or whatever it is, like cigar, like set up one-on-ones, like make friends. Because these people respect you now, whether they showed up to your party or not. Maybe they flaked. Maybe they got rejected at the door, but they respect you. You did it. You're the guy. Like, you put it together. It happened to some degree. They don't even know. Like, if they weren't there, they weren't on the rooftop. They don't know how fucking fun it was. Ideally, we make it look like it was just the fucking best time ever with all the content, all the pictures. We make it look like it was fucking sick because then everybody missed out. And now it's like, think about the difference here from a cold approach, a match, networking event, whatever. You're just another guy attending another event. When you do this for yourself, that's what you gain is respect. You gain situational status. You gain respect. It gives you leverage. People just listen to you. It's never, you want to know why the messaging on Hinge doesn't work? It's because of your profile. It's because of your pictures. You know why your pictures matter? It's because text game has never been about as much what's being said in message as much as who is sending the messages. Who is the man's behind the text? It's how you're perceived. So if you're perceived as super high value, then your texts don't fucking matter that much. You can just be a dick. Like, I'm very, very short on Hinge. But why can I do that? It's because I have really attractive photos. So it's just like, okay, that's something that I can exploit. That's something I can exploit with FaceApp, Facetune, whatever. She's not responding to my text messages. She's like probably not even remembering our conversation. She sees my dumb remark about I think you have 7 out of 8 of my core weaknesses, and she's probably like, what the fuck? Goes to my profile and is like, oh, I guess I'm replying to this. Because it's not the messages. It's like, I want to talk to this guy. So, we have to manufacture, we have to make that happen for ourselves. I wish I would have said this in the video I made today about the four pillars of a good woman and the 3 pillars of a good man. The difference between men and women is like, women, it's more about just being. Like, be loyal, be agreeable. Like, don't be a slut. Don't be drama, right? So women, it's just more about like being. As men, it's about becoming. Like, become intelligent, become fit, become rich, become high value, become sharp, become charismatic. Like, we have to grow into our role, or else we just get completely left behind. Women, they kind of either have it or they don't, right? They're either hot or they're fucking not. And then if they're hot, then the best thing that she can do is just fucking be. Like, just be good. Just be pleasant, right? And that's, again, it's not a misogynistic thing. Like, this is the way I see it. Maybe you guys disagree with me. I don't know. But you have to become as a guy.
Definitely agree with you.
Hell yeah. So, anyways, that's
talking to people is way easier when you've got shit behind you that you've earned and people just immediately respect. So it's not about the magic sequence of words. It's just about being a person that is respected. Period. Just like you're saying. I completely agree.
Absolutely, man. It's the man behind the messages that she's responding to. And when the man behind the messages is a leader, and, you know, I'll just leave it at that. When the man behind the messages is the leader of other men and then of other people, she's looking way less at your photos. She's looking way less closely at your photos. On a dating app, she's just going to go look at your pictures. She's going to zoom in really far, and she's going to be like, nope, 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 not that. Can't have that. Teeth are not wide enough. He's not tall enough. Blah, 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 blah. Just all disqualification. When a dude put together a fucking ad and then put together a group chat, 250 people, threw a fucking party, put together a reel, added it on Instagram, and then said, oh, hey, were you at that party I threw on Saturday, by the way? Wasn't sure if I saw you. She's not fucking replying to the message based off of, wait, let me go double check his profile and zoom in. She's like, no, this guy, when I see his name, I get this feeling. And this feeling that I have is based off of the man that I'm perceiving. And so, you know, like we're skipping over the whole idea of text game. We're skipping over the idea of 6 foot, 6 figures. She doesn't know, like, dude, girls don't know how much money I make. Nobody fucking knows how much money I make. I don't even know how much money I make sometimes. Like, it's like a fucking, who knows? I know there's money there sometimes, so it's like, we're good. But that shit doesn't matter, bro. Javier, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say something. So it is true what they say. It's woman can see through what's behind the man.
Yep. She's not responding to it's the man behind the messages that matter. It's not the messages themselves. It's the man behind the message. Like Justin Bieber could text fucking gibberish. And the girl would be like, what? Like, what did you say? I'm sorry, can you send that again? Like, let me call you. You know what I mean? All right, boys. That's it for today. We're a little bit over time. Any final closing thoughts? Anything we want to say before we hop off, or are we good?
All good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. You guys have a good weekend, man. I'm about to go meet up with my chick and a couple of her friends. I'm gonna be at Vinyl tonight with No Wingmen. So, you know,
Nice.
whatever dudes I run into while they're out there that I want to network with, it's they're in for a treat. So
Nice. Enjoy.
Lucky them. Enjoy
Lucky
your
them.
night, man.
I know, man. We're overflowing with abundance around here. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. See you in the Discord. Peace.